Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
Getting down with fresh out Prison Talk. Young Thug going home, man. The state dismissed the RICO count and the machine gun count. Check it out.
All right, so it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence.
Oh man, young thug. Let this be a lesson to all you guys out there who want to be street ninjas. You want to be gangsters. You want to put all your business out there on social media. You want to come up with these groups and call yourself a rap team, but the government or the state's gonna call you a gang. When you make it to a certain point in life, you're supposed to leave the bullshit behind, but a lot of times it follows you. When you keep dipping back in that pot, it's like you ever stepped in dog poo-poo and you try to get it off your shoes and you rub it in the grass, whatever, but you look in the groove, there's still shit up in there. Well, that's what happens when you keep messing with the hood and hood ninjas who, that's all they know. I'm not knocking it. That's all some guys know is the hood, man. They love the hood. They embrace the hood. They, the hood events, that's their thing. They are hood ninjas, which is fine. But if you are looking to evolve and get out of that, you got to let those cats go unless they want to let go of the hood. But if they don't want to let go of the hood, then you got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. Otherwise, you will get dragged back into the shit. And if you are the breadwinner, you will be the prize for whatever prosecution, because they will make their bones on busting you down. So you got to make some choices in life, man, when you're moving and grooving, when you're trying to take your game to the next level. Sometimes those choices are easy, sometimes they're hard, sometimes you got to learn the hard way. And until a lot of these individuals are put in a situation, you don't know what they're going to do. But I can tell you what most of them are going to do. They're going to tell. They're going to tell on you. There is no loyalty among these black gangs, man. And I'm saying black because I'm considered by quote what they would say, oh, black gangs. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty in a lot of the gangs. You see the mob tell on each other. So You know, they have a code, you know, a blood oath, and they telling on each other. Somewhat holding true to the game. Armenian gangsters. Some of the Mexican gangs, they got a different code. Russian gangsters. Jewish gangsters. Chinese, Japanese gangsters. See, you know how you can tell? And don't be mad or offended. It's just reality. I remember asking some dudes one time in prison in a TV room about the Yakuza and about guys missing, you know, 2 fingers. A lot of them, and I was listening to these dudes talk about this conversation. They're like, man, ain't nobody cutting my fingers off. Man, I'm gonna tell them whatever they need to know. These dudes, if they got before they got their fingernail cut, they're gonna tell. That's just how it is. There's no honor. The streets is dead, bro. There ain't no honor. These dudes is not cut like that. As soon as they get a little bit McDonald's in the interrogation room and they put the AC on with a Coca-Cola, they telling. They telling, man. I just interviewed the homie Bo from Broadway. And they took down like 70 of his homies, he told me. He said, man, they had a homie wearing a belt with a camera in the belt buckle. These dudes is telling out here, man. And there's no code. It's not like any of these dudes are military trained. They haven't been through interrogation or some type of tactical training where they know what to do if captured. These guys is peeled out, dranked out, weeded out, and if they get caught up in anything, they telling because they want to go back to their old baby mama or whoever it is they pounding on and get back to them pills. The game is done. Let this be a lesson. Don't let these guys trick you. And every time these dudes they putting their beefs, man. Look at this. The Popo.
What, Tank? What?
They studying y'all dumbasses. They studying y'all, man. All this shit you talking, man. And it's just like they study. They don't. Your move. They just go to your social media. They can find 2 people removed from you and find out all your business because the person 2 people removed, they don't care about telling on you either because they really don't like you because you a piece of work. I try to lace you guys up because I'm an older cat. You know, some people say, hey, OG, whatever, you know, whatever you want to say. But I'm not going to feed you bullshit like these other dudes. I'm not going to tell you the game and all this stuff. And yeah, man, you know, I was out there, man, doing this. And yeah, man, I remember back in the day, man, I should have never went to prison, educated myself more, whether it be through a trade or college, and left that bullshit because there is more respect for a guy who avoided making the dumb choices, took care of his family, provided for his family, didn't abandon his kids or his family than there is for a dude who wants to brag about doing decades. I don't brag about it. I did it. I try to share experience, but there's no braggadocious about that shit. It ain't no braggadocious, man. The people who brag about it and want a scout badge. Oh yeah, my scout badge. I was up in whoop-de-wop. Okay, you were up in there, but tell them the real. It wasn't a party up in there. It wasn't like you had a fiesta up in there. It was the most humiliating experience you could have in life. And the people who said it weren't that bad, they never lived life for real. They was bums. And if it wasn't that bad, it's been there for them, they were bums. That means that they easily adapted to that. Means they're institutionalized. They don't know what real having a good life is because ain't nothing pleasurable about jail, about being around people who in a heartbeat would cut your throat. Giving y'all the real, man. Young Thug, you done went through it. You seen who your homies is. You see who's real, who's not. Hopefully this is a life lesson that you can now look back on and realize how fake the game is, how many busters are out there, and how easy it is to get caught up and be played by the people around you, and how moving in these circles, you got to move in a different way once you get to a certain level of success, man. Subscribe, share the channel. Big Herc 916, fresh out prison talk.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in.
I'm Big Herc, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.